in the final game against Utah. He's going to have his work cut out against the only expansion team to make the playoffs. And here they are. Beardabeast, turn up defense. JoJo, the doctor. Feast, the man that won the sportsmanship award for the season. And there's the man they traded for, J Money Rep.
Yeah, I mean, J Money came in, just made an impact instantly, but also the change to JoJo and Feast that happened right around that exact same time of putting Feast onto the rim protector. But still in the show so much has been Beardabeast, and how can you not be a fan of him for what he's been able to do? And then obviously defensively, turn up defense. He hit the big shot to put them into the playoffs, but has been locking up a lot of these great guards all year long.
And for Sacramento, I mentioned this is the first playoff appearance for both of these teams, especially for Sacramento in their second season. They went 4-10 last year. Ball-like seam, Yusuf. He's been in the playoffs before. Worthington Colt III, Zaki, and BP.
And it just can't be any sort of hit or miss time. We have to see consistently throughout this best-of-3 series BP and Seam clicking. We need just everybody on the Sacramento Kings guard team to be able to just flow. I mean, you've already seen that when things don't start to go this team's way, it's like they almost mentally check out of the game, and that cannot happen at this moment. This is where you need your leaders to step up. This is where the players have to be open-minded to what others need to do in the game.
Well, you met the starting five for both of our teams, and let's tip off game number 2 of the night. Warriors Celtics already in the semifinals. And the winner of this series would face Golden State. Timberwolves will start with it first. There's their rookie point guard, Beardabeast. No question about it. Their franchise player here in season 2. Turn up, trying to go back door. Nice defense there by BP. But JoJo gets the rebound and almost got it to go. He'll head to the line for 2.
The reason that people hate playing the T-Wolves is just because their offense is so unorthodox. So sometimes they'll throw a pick and roll at you, and then next minute they'll send a triple screen up top to try to get somebody open. There's constant movement which way they go. When the clock is always winding down, they always just try to get an easy backdoor. Somebody has to be cutting. So we'll see how much they've really read the scouting report on this team. And a lot of the times it is turn up, and that's how we get so many easy baskets. And you look at the posture of, wow, turn up somehow has 16 points. That's probably where it's all coming from.
Here's Yusuf now. Gets it off to BP. Trying to get into the mid-range. Nice defense there by Minnesota. Seam though. He'll draw the foul and he'll head to the line. Seam has not played well over the last couple weeks. When they were on their winning streak, they were getting a lot out of ball like Seam.
BP started struggling a little bit too. I mean, he was right there to step it up. I mean, as you would expect, kind of just, it puts more pressure onto you, but there's guys who live for that pressure. When your point guard's not playing well, knowing that you have to step up offensively.
Seam will make them both. Tying at 2 here in the opener. Well, the playoffs for both of these teams. Turn up. We'll have a foul. That'll be on BP. That's already his second here in the first minute of play. Bear with it. JoJo in the corner. Cole will come down the rebound. I mentioned that Yusuf, the one of 2 players on the floor that played in the playoffs last year, along with Feast. Feast did it with Philly, and Yusuf was representing his hometown team, Raptors Uprising.
Well, for Turnup, he was on the bench, I think, during the playoffs, right, for the Cavs last year.
Barrett gets it to JoJo.
Just finding him down there. I mean, JoJo's a guy that they always just send on the pop multiple times. Seeing him go down low and trying to get something going. Something we even talked about the game is where he does have to try to switch that up, knowing when to pop and when you have to just go in straight, hit a slip or hit a roll, going down to get yourself some easy ones.
It's been a bit of a struggle here in the opening minute or 2. Both these teams in their first playoff game together. BP lost it. Dives on it. And that's going to be a turnover. First turnover of the game. Kings have yet to get a shot. Seam took it to the rack. He got fouled. So they have not officially recorded a shot yet. And we played 2 minutes. JoJo will use the window. Kings are, I was talking before we came on air, the Kings are one of the slowest paced teams, which is hard to believe with BP. As Yusuf will hit a long 2 foot on the line.
This Kings team just needs to pick the energy up. I mean, I know right there, finally see Yusuf and Colt stand up, but when they went on this streak that they were on during the regular season, when they started to win a lot more games, they were shutting a lot of people up. They just felt like it was almost like a honeymoon vibe going all the way through for this team. And that's what you need. I mean, if the playoffs doesn't excite you with how much money's on the line, I don't know what in this league would.
J Money off the mark. Will retain possession with 3:20 to go here in the first quarter. Scott Coltert hanging out with you here on a Thursday, day 2 of the playoffs here in the NBA 2K League. EP will slow it down. That's what they do. I mean, he's trying to take someone off the dribble on every possession. And he will take the shot. As you see, Nacho looking on. He filled in a big role, pushing tournament play, including a win over Blazer 5. Beardabeast. Well, we've had some long twos here to start this game, but any scoring will take it. I thought this was going to be a high-scoring game, Dirk.
I mean, I think, again, when T will start going to this more motion-type offense, how will the Kings, who, so we don't get to hear them, you know, just look at the player can to see how much they're talking. But your communication has to be so on point. Right there, you just saw one of the lapses when Bear got that open look. There were 2 players double teaming because it was Feast moving, it was J Money and Bear moving, everybody just doing something and playing their part. So, I mean, yeah, you would sit there and think, hey, maybe offensively, where's it going to come from? I mean, you have to remember, too, for the T-Wolves, a lot of their points, they look for the easy baskets first in the half-court set. I mean, it's usually Bear or J Money getting the off-ball shot to be able to get you some sort of look.
A key matchup was BP going up against Turnip. Because if he can lock him down, if he can put him in a box, this will be a sweep for the Timberwolves. Especially if you get BP just living on Colbert. Here's Bear. And he'll try to drop it off to JoJo. Show some patience, and he'll draw another foul. This will be the first on Yusuf. And so the T-Wolves will head back to the line. Already 2 of 2. JoJo steps to the stripe. Part of Indiana's organization last year. Didn't play in the league. This is his rookie year. The youngster out of Indiana. And we got a timeout by the Kings. They want to talk it over with 89 seconds left in the first.
And they do need to you just gave up 4 easy ones just because of that. You do need to play more hands up if you're Yusuf or whoever's down low helping. Stop jumping. He's been doing a good job of showing that he can draw the foul each time.
Well, a lot of pressure on these 2 point guards to perform. Even more pressure on our 2 lockdown defenders in Zaki and turn up defense. Who will be the X factor? Will be J Money, Ball Light Seam, or one of the big fellas down low? Yusuf, Worthington Colt, Feast, and JoJo.
I mean, it's good matchups all the way around. You got 2 great locks. You got 2 guys who played the rim protector so well. 2 guys at the small forward position, that shot creating sharpshooter who can do just a lot of the same when you're looking in terms of offense and working out in a pick and roll with that small forward build, or when it comes down to just moving off ball, dexing at the appropriate times, and finding yourself in a lot of catch and shoot situations. I mean, it's honestly, it's such like a mirror matchup between these guys in terms of the skill. This is why people are saying, hey, this might be one of the weaker matchups when it comes down to the playoff games, but it could also be one of the more interesting games that you see depending on what type of performances you're going to get from guys like BP or Ball Light Seam.
Well, 12-6 here early. Kings need some scoring, and our very own Alex was able to catch up with Worthington Colt III.
All right, I'm in front of the Scuff Gaming lockers with Colt. Colt, you're the only guy on this team that's returning from last year's team. Last year's team, you guys tied for the worst record in the league. This year, you're a 5 seed and you're ready to take on the playoffs. How crazy of a journey has the last 2 seasons been for you?
Well, season 1 was just a learning experience for me, and I feel like I had the blueprint coming into this year, and as you see, everything's starting to play out, and we just ready to play.
The Wolves didn't beat you guys too long ago. I'm curious, do you switch up your approach, or do you stick with the same game plan?
Well, we feel like they didn't see the best representation of us, so we didn't put too much thought into that loss at all. It was a big win for them, obviously, because they needed to make playoffs, but just stay tuned.
All right, we'll see you soon. That's all from the Scuff Gaming Lockers. Back to you guys.
Appreciate that. Well, right now they need some scoring. Seam, got to put up a shot. He goes all the way to the rim, but can't convert. They need to hold it for the final shot here. Give up an easy one on the other end.
Just trying to get something. Your offense has been lackluster. Might be able to be a bright spot, but you can just shut it down right here if T-Wolves Gaming gets a score.
Oh, they need to. That was a bad turnover by Beardabeast. It's Feast in the corner, and he'll hit a 3. The lead is 10. And Sacramento will just dribble it out. Okay. 18-8. That's the story so far. Double
team. Yeah, and they're sitting right next to each other too.
18-8.
Will they be able to go for the trifecta next year?
I don't know. They got to bring somebody in.
Well, we know if it's Mashy. We know it's going to be in the running again. We know if it's a point guard heavy game. We know it's going to be in the running again.
And there's another turnover. We'll give it away. 3rd turnover of the ball game for the Kings. The only turnover that Timberwolves had was in the final 20 seconds of the quarter. They would have waited for the half-court set. They would have been fine. There's a block. Up ahead to Yusuf. Over to BP. Lobs it up. That's the way to cap off the break. We had an 8-point game.
I always feel like Gabe gets so excited when he sees Colt stand up and start to talk. It's like Gabe's getting ready.
They need to talk. They could use a technical right now. Anything to wake this team up. Hey, they are sleepwalking through this first half. Maybe that alley-oop will do it. JoJo! So crazy. It's technically a pop, but they just kind of fade out there. Kind of fade to the wing. And Feast will jump in the passing lane. And all the way to the rim, and Cole will block the shot. Feast taking forever on that animation. (21-10). Good job by Colt getting back. BP now 0 points in that first quarter. He only took 1 shot. Finally able to crab, and he'll hit the 3.
It's crucial just for BP and them to get a win playing the side that they are. I mean, this is where it favors people who play exactly like BP. Your Radiance. You're just able to sauce up and come out different, and that's what he needs to do. But anytime, no matter who, what point guard it is, when you're playing 2 great defenders in the pick and roll, like Turn Up, like Feast, I mean, they're going to make it hard on you every single time. And I feel like, too, offensively, the pop works out a lot. Something that we've credited JoJo all year on is his ability to shoot, catch, and shoot shots, and when he's open, being able to knock him down at a high percentage rate. Teams aren't used to guarding pops in this league. Nobody runs a sharpshooting rebounder and actually utilizes it. So, I mean, when it's on the floor, you can maybe sit there and game plan, but you're still going to be playing down towards the paint more often than not. And by the positionings that they're getting, the corner can't even come up to help there, because it would just be an easy pass to try to go over to the corner, whoever's playing it.
Turn Up, can't get it to go. Here's Worthington Colt. And taken away by J Money. And he'll get ripped right back. 5-point game. 8-3 run here by Sacramento to start the quarter. And BP will take another 3. And we got a foul underneath the basket. That'll be on Yusuf after JoJo got the rebound.
That was one of the best looks that you can ask for. Hit him with that twice.
Here's Bear trying to slow things down. He only managed to triple here in the first Almost 3 minutes to play in the second quarter. They go to JoJo for an easy one, and he'll do a chin-up on the rim.
Notice the trend from what we've been seeing so far here in the playoffs. Centers are eating down low. They are just being on a... I don't know if it's the same strategy. I mean, it's always been go ahead, take a 2 over a 3. But it's just been so many times where you're seeing centers continuously just get these rolls and just get easy baskets down low.
Colt hanging underneath the hoop. See the 76ers after their opening win tonight. There.
And Rux.
Rux, what are you doing, Rux? Stage manager Matt walking through the shot. I mean, people everywhere. JoJo. Is that tampering?
We'll wait for the Josiah article and figure it out.
Here's Bear. Part of the reason Rux is up there because there's nowhere to sit down here. He's like, I gotta find somewhere to be. It's a good place to watch the game. There in the players' lounge. And another turnover. 6 turnovers now for the Kings. Bear pops his badge, and he'll go all the way to the rack. Our stage manager upstairs had to go upstairs and get you a Pepsi. Such a deal.
And a Snickers.
That was a gift. BP. Finally strings a couple moves together. Got 6 points now. They need a lot more out of him in the second half. 1:20 to go. Jay Money will answer back with a 3.
See, that blitz there by Colt wasn't even necessary at that point. I mean, you're in a territory where, okay, Bear's got his badge. You know he's just going to go into a 5-out set straight away. Why go ahead and risk the blitz and then force somebody to play 2? Because then you just leave a wide open 3.
Jay Money from Fort Worth, Texas. So he's lived there his whole life. And there's this come to 3 fest. Seam's got 10 points. He's doing his part.
Adds to the fun of it, right? Seeing 3s go up.
Bear behind the back and to the rim without his badge. It had expired right when he went behind the back and still gets to the rim.
See, those situations too, anytime that you see it, the corner is always pinching down to at least try to get a bump and make something happen. Then you rotate, you cover the corner for the player. Right there, no contact was created. That was just an open lane.
Turnovers killing the Kings. Jay Money. Reverse jam on the alley-oop. He's got 8 and the lead is 11. And we got a foul in the backcourt. It's going to be on Jay Money, his second. Team second. That's their foul to give.
I mean, it's tough being down, but then also just based on the fact that you just give up just one of the easiest baskets in the game, those backdoor cuts.
Here's Seam now. Gets it off to Worthington Colt. Game clock running down. Few seconds left. Got no love for Zaki in the corner. 0. There wasn't anybody within 10 feet of Zaki. Nevertheless, the lead is 11 for the only expansion team to make the playoffs.
Outstanding interview as per usual, and we'll see that game after the second half of this one concludes, because we still got to find out if the Kings can crawl out of this hole. We'll do that right now as we send things back over to Scott and Dirk.
Appreciate it. We got an 11-point game. T-Wolves, the strong first quarter. A little run there by the Kings to start the second quarter, but then T-Wolves would come right back just to match their effort, and they lead by 11. A 10-point differential after the first quarter certainly was the difference. Slow start for Sacramento. They got to pick it up. They're sleepwalking through this game. BP, just 6 points in that first half. He did have 6 assists, but 4 turnovers. Zaki in the corner. What was that at the end of the half?
Davis been so reliant on the pick and roll, and it's just showing it's not working. I mean, usually in a pick and roll, right, if they're taking away the three-point shot from somebody, then the center's going to have double-digit points. That's not the case. He needs to hit the slip more if that's how they're playing. It's going to be there at some point.
Blocked by Zaki leads to a dunk. They're out of Yusuf. 6 points down for Yusuf. Just not a lot of energy. Sacramento, even on big plays. And a turnover. It's the third turnover of the game for Minnesota. And Feast will get called with a reach. That'll be his second. It was a huge block by Zaki.
You've got one team that's playing with the energy like it's the playoffs, and another team playing with the energy like it's still a regular season. BP.
This is my biggest beef about this team. It's just dribble God, and you hope he makes it. This time he does.
That's really one of the only plan of attacks. You've seen them try to utilize some off balls more, but the defense has been there for the T-Wolves, and that's a clean look for BP. In no way he's not playing terrible. I mean, he's only 3 of 5 in the 4 turnovers. Again, we always set the limit of like 6 turnovers. Okay, maybe you're leaning towards more of a bad game, but still it's right around the average with so many of the top point guards that we have in the league. But it's just the fact that he has 5 attempts, and they're all from behind the arc.
They're just not getting a lot of shots.
Oh, yes, third quarter.
Corner, little 2K cam. You guys in the chat asked for it, and here it is.
Well, you know what Phil says in the chat? He says that
he took credit for it?
He threatened to quit his job, so they said, no, Phil, we'll change the camera to 2K for you.
I heard he threatened to stay.
Oh, yeah, I heard that too.
So Jay Money with a big game. Got a timeout by the T-Wolves, by the way, 35-29. Kings have just within striking distance here. You can see JoJo and Colt. 2 different archetypes here. You got Colt in the pure glass, JoJo stretching it out a little bit.
Now, rebounds haven't been really making that much of an impact in the game so far, but that's all you can see on the shooting breakdown. Just between both of these players, one on the sharp shooting rebounder, one on the pure glass. Pure glass, you're limited to paint only. That's where he's at. For JoJo, he's able to literally go anywhere on the floor. He wants to shoot a mid-range, shoot a three-pointer, go down low, and try to bang with the best of them. He's going to be able to.
The real credit, by the way, I mean, I'll give Phil a little credit. He's in the chat. He's doing his work. Matt Arden, Mike Budney, all the production crew, behind the scenes. They're like, hey, people want it, we'll give it to them. What do you say, Phil?
Well, you know what it is, you know, I do take a lot of credit because I've been very astute in my observations within the chat. And I understand, hey, you know what? Playoffs, let's switch the vibe up a little bit. We want to keep that 2K can rolling. And I was with the people on that. So I actually walked up myself and spoke to production and Matt Arden. And we came to an agreement. And they, you know, they said, you know what, Phil, another stellar idea. Phil's not just on food. He's on top of it.
I'm going to be the bad guy here because I always love to go against Phil. I have the receipts that Scott was the person that initiated this change to 2K cam in the third quarter,
now,
Phil. And
you know what? Because great minds think alike. I was already upstairs when he sent that text.
And we were already together down the lobby waiting for you. And then that's when we said, hey, maybe we should try to bring back 2K cam for the entire game.
Phil has been here like 180 days over the last 2 years.
Phil used the internet.
Have you ever been upstairs?
He uses Internet Explorer. It takes him a while to get the memo.
Right, but I do get it.
4 hours later.
Hey, it's a team effort.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to convey, Scott. That's why I had Scott up here with me earlier and not you, Dirk.
Yeah, because I was down there doing big boy things, Phil. It's things that you couldn't handle.
We're out of here. 35-32. A little comeback. All you got to do is check in with Phil, and you get a good game.
Phil is the slimer.
Beast in the corner. Beast with 6 points now. Boy, how about that pass from corner to corner? That's a risky one.
Oh, yeah. So the chat was actually confirming with what I said, just for the record.
All right. I'm okay with that. 38-32.
I'm not reading that. I'm not reading that.
What does he want him to read?
All right. Hold on. Let me scroll back up.
Oh, goodness. I thought they were asking him to read a script or something.
Wait, I lost my place. They are all fossils.
All right. I don't know what's going on.
What?
It's the playoffs. 40-34.
I don't know why my mic's still on. I'm sorry.
That moment brought to you by Phil Visu. 2:07 to go here in the third. It is 5-on-5 basketball. Someone's asking in the chat. He's like, wait, is there 10 players? Yeah, everybody's controlling somebody. Beardabeast, just like Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, Overwatch. As Bear gets to the rim. That's elevation, Holmes.
I think a lot of people are just so used to, in many sports games, they're thinking it's just a 1v1, one guy controlling the 5 players on the court, but not the case here.
Seam. 42-36. Somebody was asking chat, do they run zone defense? You can run, you could, sure. Maybe you get absolutely cooked, but sure. It's more chaos, especially in the full court.
What's kind of odd is it's the way that defense is set up is that you are, in a sense, in a little bit of a 2-3 zone,
right,
just with the center playing up high. But another thing in this game, they're giving Bear exactly what he wants. He's being able to do all the little things just to consistently get these switches onto either Yusuf, onto Colt. They got to do a better job of just finding over those, because he's just going to be aggressive and he's going to utilize the speed of the build, just be able to blow right by him. He'll hit you with a walk back, so you're not even able to jump and get a contest on the shot either.
Yeah, I mean, it's all traditional NBA rules, just like you'd find in your retail copy of NBA 2K19. We're just on a custom build that's played on Alienware computers, and think of Hall of Fame with insane sliders. Very difficult. 44-39. Not a lot of greens in the league, let me put it that way. JoJo. It's an off the Beardabeast. 5-point game. Sacramento's chipped into the lead, and that was a wild animation by Jay Money. It won't go. And now Sacramento has an opportunity to make it a one-possession game. They have outscored Minnesota 15-9 here in the third. BP, that's a lot of space. Nice switch by Jay Money. And they find a slipping Worthington Colt III.
And they're really just starting to get so much going together from the work that Seam's been able to do here in this quarter. He was able to pop his badge. That immediately drew the attention of Feast and turn up straight up. So then that's where Cole had it. That's smart right there by Zachy too. They had a foul to give. Go ahead and wrap up there. Force him to make him work out the inbound and burn more time off the clock. So maybe he can't just go straight to this 5 out.
Big 5 seconds here to close out the third. Bear got to get going. 2 seconds now. The find of wrapping Jay Money, but it won't fall. And so we got a 3-point game as we head to the final 6 minutes in this opening game between the T-Wolves and the Kings. Come on back for the fourth. Debut sometime after the 4th game, depending on how these series go. You want to make sure you stay tuned for that. Final 6 minutes here in game 1, best of 3. And up next, you got the 76ers. Seam has a takeover. 76ers and Pacers will play game 2. Remember, Sixers taking the first one. Sacramento Dirk doing a nice job there in the third, getting back into this game.
Playing better defense and then offensively too, starting to just string some things together. I mean, coming in here to the 4th for Seam, it's the worst situation you want to be in. It's like, okay, I pop my badge, we don't get the ball to start the 4th. So now the badge gone, you don't have it offensively, so you have to try to work that back up and try to make something happen again for you to be able to score. But the off-ball stuff, it has been working. They have been going through a lot more, and that's one of the changes that you needed. Meanwhile, BP, he started picking up more on the offensive side of things too.
Colt with a big rebound, gets out to Zachy, back out to BP! Can't hit the 3. Great ball movement after the offensive rebound. They just couldn't cash in. Bear now. He's got a quiet 17, and he gets it taken away by Zachy. Good foul. It was a 4-on-2 break. That'll be the 3rd on Jay Money.
See, right there is exactly what you have to do more, too. When Bear starts to drive over to that side, I mean, whoever is playing the corner has to bite down. Until Bear showed you that he's going to dot that corner consistently, that's what you have to do to try to cut off his angle. Now, ideal situation, that's a Euro step that he was going for. So if you do reach or you even knock their stride, they will end up losing the ball. In other situations, you just have to try to create some contact and hope that your teammate ends up swinging to the corner that you were just defending.
Bear now gets it over to JoJo. Back out to Bear. Just leading by 3. They were up by as many as 11 there in the first half. J Money! He now has 11. Well, him joining this team, everything changed. And what a block by Feast!
So usually anybody else would stand up and yell and go, I'm gonna calm you down, blah, 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 blah. The reason that Feast won a sportsmanship award.
Come on, Yusuf got his shot blocked. You gotta go at him like that. Yusuf needs to start calming somebody down. They trail by 6. J Money again! This time off the mark, but Turnip comes down with it. J Money, this time it's good. 52-43, timeout Kings. With 3:38 to go in the ball game. Take a peek here at the box score. 17 for Seam. Bears got 17, but just a little more from J Money and JoJo. That's the difference.
You always look to just try to have a double-digit trifecta anytime that you look over towards a box score. And for the Kings, I mean, they have spread it out a little bit. You're getting some offense from BP and Seam, but haven't just been able to find Cole Lumber down low. We said about the dynamic sharpshooting rebounders, a build that a lot of people just started to shy away from. They didn't want to use anymore. It would end up getting horsed if it came down to the rebounding counter, trying to bully your way in down low. People felt like it wasn't able to hit jump shots on a consistent basis, but you can get that double threat from both of them. And for Jamie, they are doing a good job of just kind of keeping him contained. He's not getting a lot of the baskets. He's having to work for a lot of the shot attempts that he's taking.
Well, the lead is back up to 9. After some big threes by J Money. He's 4 of 7 from downtown. Here come the Kings. Yusuf will pick up his dribble, gets it off to BP. He's got to catch fire here. Turn up. And they're going to use another timeout with 7 on the shot clock. What I love about Turnup is he just gets down in defensive stance and he's like, dribble as much as you want, bro. I'm going to be right here.
You know what's crazy too? Like it's weird to have 2 of them on the same teams. Like Turnup could have been a guy you could have put up there for the sportsmanship award too. He's somebody who doesn't talk.
Yeah. Well, take a look at this. Celtics and Warriors with huge upsets. 2 sweeps over the top 2 seeds. That makes 76ers GC the top seed left in the playoffs. They won game 1. Game 2 coming up right after this.
And that should be a good one. We said that has the potential to where we could go to that game 3 to see on the bottom if at all necessary. I don't know how it's going to go in the next game. If we see any sort of change up, but we see the Pacers end up going back to what was working for them when they were facing elimination. It seemed like they were a lot more comfortable with it. Because we were wondering if they ever said, hey, Rainbow, get off the post score, go back just like a slashing stretch 4, rebound, or go play center, that they would probably end up just transitioning back, okay, pure lock at the 2, and then the shot sharp at the 3. So we'll have to see. I mean, playoffs, when you make changes, I mean, obviously that doesn't look good for you in those instances.
52-43. And now the T-Wolves are going to call a timeout. They got 3 remaining. Sacramento with 2. Of course, they're getting to the point where hey, we can go ahead and burn this timeout because we're about to lose 2 of them anyway here soon. Well, if you missed the starting lineups, well, Colt's like, don't talk to me, JoJo. Here's the starting 5. Pretty much steady as it goes.
Yeah, I mean, this is what they've come out with ever since they started to go on the streak. Obviously, just a player change of J Money being in towards the lineup, but so much of the success and something that doesn't really get talked about all that much is just JoJo on that sharpshooting rebounder, sharpshooting rim protector for Feast. It's been a big reason to why this team has been able to have success.
On the other side for Sacramento, nothing changed here, but they've certainly not got the most out of their star player, BP.
It's mirror matchups and the archetypes just apart from the center position. And we've told you about how that can change the offensive dynamic for your team. Screens don't hit as hard, but if you just get so many people involved and some miscommunication going elsewhere, more timeouts being called. Who knows why?
Going to call another timeout. I mean, they're about to lose those timeouts anyway. So they're, just going to sit here and take every kind of momentum out of this game. I'm not sure it's not hurting their momentum. These two teams met back on June 26. It was a 51-45 win by the T-Wolves. Bear had a double-double, and Turnup held BP to 16 points in that game. He's holding them to 11 right now.
And 4 of 10 shooting has been bidding as a lot of missed shots. And anytime we talk about a rim protector in a pick and roll, it does limit to what you're able to do on the inside. And I feel like the only dynamic you can maybe say for BP if he was to change something up is try to go for the crab in the mid-range. I mean, the dribble drive might not be there all that lot, but he's 3 of 7 from downtown, been forcing up a lot of the shots.
Well, we're in the quarterfinals, best of 3. Tomorrow the semifinals will start. And then on August 3rd, 3 p.m. Eastern time, the best of 5 will start. There on a Saturday. 3:20 to go. You remember in that game when they met just a few weeks ago, Colt didn't want to hear the trash talk then, and then they started talking about, you guys make the playoffs. We're already in the playoffs. Well, the T-Wolves did, and now they're getting a chance to maybe beat the Kings again. Be careful what you wish for, is what I'm trying to say. As Jake Money with a cut.
I think one of the more funnier parts about that, too, is that the Kings had not officially clinched yet. They were, like, right there. Like, it was probably going to happen.
Like 99.9%. But you're right. They weren't officially in. Both these teams won 10 games. But the T-Wolves won their last 7. Right after the Hood trade, their whole season turned around. 8-point game, 2.5 to go.
I'm wondering, too, for BP, I mean, how close is that takeover? Is he anywhere sort of near it? And he's not been having a performance just in a quarter alone to be able to get that much progress going towards his badge. But, I mean, that could be another difference maker. You're looking at a guy who, when he has that badge, he doesn't care who's in front of him. Can be the best pure lock in the game. He will go 5 out with you.
He's got 17 points, 10 assists for Bear, only 2 turnovers. He's also only missed 4 shots, and JoJo will cap it off with a dunk. He's got 17.
Going back to little horns action. Set a lot of off-ball movement, courtesy of former Coach V. That playbook still sticks around with a lot of the plays that these guys run.
BP, double teamed. And there is Seam. I mean, if you got 2 guys on him, someone's got to be open. (56-48). Here's Bear, and Zachy will get called the reach. That's 5. If you're new to watching the NBA 2K League, nope, not yet, Mel East. Not yet. You got to earn that. There's a reason it says Knicks on the side. Last year's champ. Hey, if they're as superstitious as I think that team is, I wouldn't be anywhere near that trophy.
I would walk and see the trophy and say, I got to stay 15 feet away from it at all times. No one can breathe near it. No one can touch it.
It's like an eclipse. You can't make eye contact with the trophy. Here's BP. Down by 11. They've only managed to scrape out 7 points in the quarter. BP, long 3. 8-point game. A little bit too late.
That was super, super deep.
Here's JoJo. They should use all the shot clock. Bear it out. And turn up with a jam. That's his first bucket. He's had his hands full on the other end. The crazy thing is you almost put him up for player of the game, just how he's locked up BP. They double team him this time. Colt's open in the corner.
Colt can stay open in the corner too.
Colt's like, I'm on a pure glass. Hit me in the corner, bro.
It doesn't help that he has base 11 on too. Like, give something to where it looks like you give some hope. I mean, full bar the shot. I mean, it looks like long arms, all that's a positive. I mean, if you're going to do it with a center, I mean, you're not Steez, for one. Steez is a guy who somehow was able to do that. King Cam, we've seen him on a pure glass when he's over in the corner with a bad hot shot as well. Set shot 13, doesn't count.
Bears got his takeover. BP's got his takeover. I'm still a believer. I want to see point guards guard point guards. I understand why you don't do it this year. If you don't want to get your ankles broke off.
See, I'm going to say this now. I mean, something's got to change with, like we said, if things aren't going the way, when this team is winning, oh my goodness. I mean, they look untouchable. The personality-wise, the energy, it's great. When they start to lose, you can almost just call the game no matter what quarter it's in because you know you're not getting anything from anybody on the team. Like right there, that final possession, if you have the badge and you got a pure glass screen, do not tell Colt go to the corner. Tell him to go to the low block because Feast can go up and double team. Then by the time you do it again, Colt gets called for a 3 seconds. Something has to change. I don't know if anything will going into the lineup for the second game that they have, but I mean, it's an ugly game for Kings guard and T-Wolves playing exactly how we expected.
Well, they'll have an hour before these two teams will face off again in game 2, but it's a 64-51 win, and so T-Wolves get the victory. Worthington Colt the third, Seam and Yusuf. Oh my, we got a switch.
Yeah, big switch with Seam going over to the floor, so that'll put him onto a stretch, so more likely will end up being a hash player. Last time we ever saw a two-way sharpshooter out on the floor, don't even want to bring it up, but we'll see how Yusuf is able to utilize that build. So they're coming out with a double lock hybrid. And we'll see. I mean, this has got to be something that they've used them before. I mean, the playoffs, the only team that ever went through and made a drastic change was the Pistons last year, taking their point guard off of point guard. So we have to see how this can impact it. Seeing Yusuf on a lot during the offseason, but then coming in here is playing on the Riptide. For me, pick and roll defense is going to be the big thing. How are Colt and Zachy going to be able to communicate, or will they put Seam in it, which I hardly doubt.
Interesting change, especially with your back against the wall. Survive in advance time. And here are the T-Wolves, the only expansion team in the draft, and they're a game away from making the semifinals. Bear, turn up, JoJo, Feast, and J Money.
Coming out with what's been working. I mean, you saw in that last game, the effect turn-up really didn't have to do a whole lot of the scoring, which is weird to say because the locks don't usually do that. But they didn't have to go to him. Bear was able to get a lot of shots up. He got double digits. JoJo as well, and then J Money. I mean, if they come out here with the same plan, I mean, for me, it's just all about the defensive game plan for Kings right now. I already know what I'm going to get for the T-Wolves, but with this drastic of a change, how much can this impact the game?
Let's tip it off. Game 2. Maybe our final game of the night. We got a special episode, episode 8 of Locked In. Following this game, and Feast will jump in there, and he'll slam it home. Already a 2-0 lead, and JoJo. Turnovers have been an issue. They'll have to clean it up here in game 2. What about that mismatch? As J Money too strong. Up ahead to Yusuf. And there's a foul.
He did the right thing by getting the drop step there. Does have a smaller guy in him, but Colt was lurking, right? So if he ends up going up with that one, Colt's probably going to end up blocking the shot. It's just not smart. And then he kicks it out to J Money, and he has a quick trigger when he thinks he has it. If he gets a bad catch, he's already holding square, so it's probably going to be a full white release.
2-2. Bear gives it off to JoJo. They got to hurry here. They will get across half court. That 8 seconds goes real fast, especially when the other team's getting bumpy. Bear, that's all kind of room. And he'll hit the 3. 5-2 here early. Second game of the series. T-Wolves looking for the sweep. BP's got to have a huge game.
It's one of the things that we even go, the only team that we've ever had to have the conversation about was always the Raptors. They're always ones who run out with a pure double lock lineup, or they came out with a pure lock, and then they came out with the hybrid, the slashing defender. Right now, I mean, you're in a position to where Seam's going to be limited to what he can do when he's working out in the half-court setting. Catch and shoots is going to be fine. He's not going to be able to space the floor as much as possible that he would when he's on that shot start, because he is on the stretch at the 4. So that's going to impact it. I mean, it has to be BP having one of these 25-point, 30-point performances in the game, while Seam has to chip in with 20.
Turn up. Shot blocked. Long 2. 7-5 now. 3:40 to go here in the first. Big change by Sacramento and the Archetypes. Something we've not seen out of them all year long. And it's right here in their biggest game. They have to know something we don't.
I mean, we never know, just with this league a week going into practice, of how many different maybe combinations they tried to change. I mean, I just would have never thought that I would have seen Yusuf go back to playing in like a 3-role, shooter role. I always thought, if anything, if there was to be a change, that Yusuf would go back to his natural position that he loves to play, at being center, and then maybe try to shift Colt around. But again, it's so rare that we would even see in the playoff any sort of lineup change happen. I mean, maybe if there's something obvious that you feel like you can definitely try to exploit in terms of a mismatch, then go ahead and go for it. But this drastic of a change, like the Pacers one's fine. We saw them use it before. This is the first time coming out on the stage with this, and that's why we're harping up on it so much.
Turn up from the free throw line. 9-5. Appreciate you guys watching here tonight on Thursday. Scott and Dirk hanging out with you. I want to know, chat, who you guys got in this one? T-Wolves with a sweep, or can the Kings force a game 3? Give me a 1 for T-Wolves, 2 for Kings. Make it easy on them. Yusuf. 2-way sharp shooter off the mark. How many of those have we seen?
1. Tucker locks up in the Magic.
They scored 28 points that game.
So you're easy to just turn and look at me and say, huh?
Turn up. Of course, that was the day before a Kel Mapp trade.
I think that's the only time we've ever seen him come out. Other than that, it's always just been the slashing defender.
Remember, we thought somebody had chose it one time, and they had to reset the game.
That was, I think, DT on that 2-way athletic at the 4.
At the 4, yeah, you're right. And another turnover. 4 turnovers now. And it's a 12-5 game.
And for the T-Wolves, it's really just been bread and butter. Only forced 5 misses so far. I mean, defense hasn't been that crazy. I mean, they're sitting at 0 turnovers, so they're not forcing any of these ill-advised passes. You're just allowing them to get to their spots, which is never the case that you want with this team. But T-Wolves seem to just be playing laid back here as well.
Just doing my normal thing in chat where I talk to Nightbot. Probably my best friend. Shot clock running down. Turnup's got to force that up. That's going to be an air ball, which leads to a shot clock violation.
I think we're all just still waiting on the moment. How will Seam be put to use? I mean, you know you're capable of making a lot of plays happen in an off-ball setting. No, it's not the best example because the team wasn't that good, but for Kev, when we saw him go onto this build, the impact that he was able to make, playing a lot like how a Shot Sharp did, just never having to run the pick and roll, just dexing in and out.
Here's Seam. And that shot will be blocked. They got 4 steals, 2 blocks in the first quarter. Good grief. Get that shot out of here.
That was a small one.
Small guy with the block. 12-5. Bear can't make the layup. Kings need a run. BP will take a 3. Colt with a rebound. Great shot decision. I mean, even though you don't make it, you know you got the big fella down low. They need more of that. They come down and use so much of the shot clock. And Turnup will draw the foul. They'll get that on BP. That'll be his first.
See, it was a good shot. I mean, it's the only thing, it was just a long one. I mean, that's within range for him to be able to knock it down. But then again, Colt, we've been able to see what he can do all year when he does get these rebounds and the good decision making of when he needs to go back up with it.
Papa Bruck in chat wants to know, did the Mavs play tonight? They played last night, and the Celtics swept them. We got 3 teams already in the semifinal. The winner of this one will advance and face the Warriors tomorrow. We're down to just 4 teams left in the season. Started the season with 21 teams. Close to just 4 remaining. JoJo up ahead. Jay Money will get a shot. Well, they double up the Kings. 14-7 behind 5 turnovers by Sacramento.
I'm going to be player
of the week.
I'm going to be player of the month.
Player of the month.
I'm going to be MVP.
I'm going to be MVP.
Mama knew best. He is the 2019 NBA 2K League MVP powered by Intel. Thanks to your vote for the Intel Performance Awards, Mama I'm That Man stands above the rest. And at the center of his stellar season was the 9th generation Intel Core i7 processor, delivering the performance and responsiveness all our players demand. Shout out to you, the fan, for making your voice heard for Player of the Week, Player of the Month, and League MVP all season long. The Intel Performance Awards, powered by Intel, and you.
Well, somehow Mama knew that camera would be on him. That's the award he won tonight. Most valuable player here in 2019 in the NBA 2K League. It's going to go up somewhere nice back at the house. 14-7. Another non-impressive quarter by the Kings.
The past game, I'd maybe say not surprised. This game, I'll say not surprised. Because she just made such a big change. I mean, it hasn't been that bad. You're only down by 7, but I feel
The
like
T-Wolves had a terrible quarter.
I just feel like this has. I feel like it has it written all over it that like the T-Wolves are just going to start to just go on this big run.
I mean, the T-Wolves are 6 of 14.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have blew them out in that quarter. And still, it's a 10-point lead.
They only got 1 turnover. Kings had 5. They're 3 of 9. T-Wolves have 3 3-pointers made.
I mean, T-Wolves put up 14 shots. It's crazy. And there is Colt. That's a foul. That'll be on Feast, his first. They need more of that. 6 points for Colt. I'd give anything to know what he's saying.
I'd also like to see just how much they can change it up and how many repetitions they've got to it where they say, hey, let's try and play where Seam ends up just going into the pick and roll or just setting a screen and try to work out some sort of a pop. Throw something at this team that they're not used to seeing.
For a couple of weeks, we could hear the players like the whole game. It was really enjoyable.
I miss hearing what Big Colt's got to say.
I know. I got to find out. I mean, his dad, no autographs.
Doesn't say much.
No.
But does what he needs to do.
It was a different time back then, you know?
Back when no 3-point line.
Peach baskets. NBA 1K. Those were the days. 19-10. They have changed up archetypes here in the final game of the season. The Kings have not run this lineup the entire year. I'm trying to think how many games they've played. Obviously 16 in the regular season. They were 1-4 in tournament play. So that's, well, they were, if you count the earlier game tonight, they're 10-12 on the season. 22 games. We have not seen this archetype's run.
That's something they might have to try to attack more of too. Just the fact that Seam's on a bigger build, got the athleticism, Jay Money's guarding him. Try to make something happen. I think their plan too is that thinking about the height that he could potentially shoot over him, have those chances of hitting the lightly contested jump shots, but also, I mean, bully ball down low. That could always be the option they could go to.
And there's a jam. 21-12. Feast doing just that.
He's always throwing so many different looks in the pick and roll. I'm telling you, it's always like a double screen. Sometimes they'll just go with a 1, throwing the triple screen at times as well.
BP. Dribbling around the free throw line. And Seam can't hit it. Zaki able to hit the 3 in the corner. That's his first bucket of the game. They've cut it down to 6. Just need a few stops. Like we said, Minnesota's not playing that great offensively either. Elbow jumper off the mark. Seam now. Got to get it across the timeline. Loose ball. And this will go to the Kings. They'll still have 13 to shoot. Take an opportunity to check in with my main man, Phil.
Yo, what's good, Scott? Yeah, I just kind of wanted to get a feel for what people were seeing in the chat. You know, our quarterfinals and a lot of sweeps, man, but I got a couple people thinking this one's going to go the distance and we're going to get 3 games on the evening. Do you think that could be the case?
Well, right now.
Are we sweeping it all the way to the 7th?
Yeah, right now, who knows? Because neither team's shooting the ball well. All it takes, Dirk, is one team to catch fire.
Yeah, any of these teams have that capability. You're going to have to be on the back of BP for the Kings, and for the T-Wolves, it can come from Jay Money, it can come from Bear. This team's been really spread out. And even when Bear won the Intel Player of the Week, I mean, he wasn't putting up this crazy stat line. I mean, they're just finding a way to get everything involved in the team-structured form of basketball that they are running. The set is perfect for almost everybody to try to reach double digits in the game.
So the first part of that soliloquy was probably amazing, Dirk. I actually couldn't hear it because the crowd was so loud, which is not a bad thing. I just want to give you an idea of the energy we have flowing in this place.
If you want the too long did not read, the answers we'll find out.
All right, there it is.
23-15. Here's Bear now. Up by 8. Trying to get to the rim. Steps inside Zaki and he'll lay it in. Look at it again.
This little Euro step. And that's one of the unfound treasures that if you don't know about 2K19 so far, you've been missing out. And you've been missing out on getting a lot of easy twos. Create contact with the defender. Euro step, you slip right by him.
Tries to do it again. This time he pump fakes. He's got to get out of the paint here. Yep. 3 in the key.
You get to about
2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005. And here comes a whistle. That'll be a turnover, just their second of the game. And it's loose. Picked up by Turnip. 3-on-1 break. Feast will turn it over. 3 turnovers now, back to back for the T-Wolves. This next 60 seconds is important. It could be a 14-point game or it could be a 6-point game. Something tells me it's just what I said. Reverse jam, we're up to 12.
That's what it's looking like. J Money comes in with the blitz, straight up to Turnip. Nice little leak out for him. And it's one of these games again where he's found himself high up there in the scoring, currently leading everybody in the game.
And their seam finally hits. First 3-pointer for Seam. He's now got 5 points. Takes us back to a 9-point game. Bear. And scooped up. Zachy now. Out to Seam. BP on a cold ring. Final 18 seconds of the half. And BP turns the corner. Can't make the layup. Bear back the other way. Hold it for the final shot. Bear trying to go behind the back on Seam. Walks back, no. 3 seconds. Gets over to J Money. Pumps fakes. And that's how the half will come to an end. 27-18. Neither team playing well. The Kings just playing a little bit worse. They are down by 9 here at the half.
27-18, looking to close this one out and hand us our 4th consecutive sweep in the quarterfinals, which would be absolutely insane. Not sure if they're going to be able to get there, but they're doing their best right now. A good offensive effort all around. What's going on, everybody? I hope you've been enjoying this playoff action, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people are eager to see a game number 3, but might not see it today. I don't know, man. Take a look at this box score. Turn up defense, leading all scorers on the T-Wolves with 11. You got Bear and J Money and Feast all contributing as well. But on the other side, for the Kings, just struggling to really start to get anything flowing offensively. Now, we know this team can definitely produce, but it's just not there yet. Perhaps the second half will be a little bit different. But how about we send it over to a second member of the broadcast team? My girl Alex is standing by with some awesome members in the crowd.
What's up, Phil? Yeah, I'm hanging out here with some T-Wolves fan and Sportsmanship Award. Feast, he won it, and this is his older brother.
Mirza. How we doing, guys? How's everything?
Mirza, you're from Montenegro, and you just told me you named your brother?
Yep. Majority of the family's name starts with S. My name starts with M. So I might as well name him M as well.
So you guys are from Brooklyn, and as you can see right here, we got 5 cousins of Feast family and also Daddy Feast at the end there. So lots of support. I want to know, Feast is the youngest of 3 boys. What was he like as a kid?
Humble, quiet, just like this sums up the Sportsmanship Award, all about giving, warm-hearted, just mannerism.
What's it like to see your little brother up here and succeeding like he is?
Proud, just proud of him. He works like hard, humble, stays humble, he's quiet, so I'm very happy to see him succeed. And
are they going to close it out right here?
they're going to win the championship. I'm calling it here first. They're winning championship.
All right, Phil, you heard it. The T-Wolves are going to win this championship. I'll throw it back up to you.
All right, well, hey, they've already taken 1 step towards that championship goal, but they have an opportunity to finish it right now. We're going to get into the second half, so that means back to Scott and Dirk.
Appreciate it. Yeah, they're going to certainly have to shoot better in the second half to try to close this thing out. Someone's got to run at them. Will it be Sacramento or will it be Minnesota? 9-point lead for the T-Wolves. Feast, the only player on this team with playoff experience. Of course, Cavs did make playoffs last year, but I don't think Turnip played in those games. We can double check that. 27-18. I'll do it for you, dude.
I don't even know where to go to check it out.
You're like, you look like you were making moves over here, and I was like, nah.
I was about to pull up the website. I'm like, do we have season 1 up there?
Certainly have season 1 playoffs out on the website.
I'm almost positive he didn't play.
We'll see. I mean, they made it to the semis, right?
Because what it was, Hood, Sick, Savage, Toxic,
Toxic was in the chat. He might know. I'm going to look it up no matter what because now I'm curious. And Bear got it to go. It's easily to forget a cone. It was Hood, Sick, Got a 2K, and Savage along with Toxic. (29-23).
Well, at least there's one thing you know with Yusuf. If you give him an open shot, he's more than likely going to end up making the shot, which is good for him being on this build.
31-23 now.
He just got the speed boost right by seam, and same thing that we saw in game one. They kept on just abusing a mismatch. They're doing the exact same thing here too, allowing too many switches.
There was just one player on the Kings that were in the playoffs last year. That was Yusuf with the Raptors. Averaged 6 points, 2 steals a game. Bear now, and that'll be a foul. Of course, Feast was on that powerful 76ers team. He averaged 16 points, 14 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and 1.5 steal. Feast can certainly fill up a stat sheet. And there's Bear! Soaring for the jam. And that puts us back to 9.
Just way too much dribble drive that time. They end up putting seam in the pick and roll defense. So he said, you're never safe. You can take the rim protector out of the equation on this team just because they have so many guys who will go up there and just set a screen. They're waiting for something small to hit, and then Bear will end up making his move.
That was a huge three-pointer. We got a 4-point game. Nice start here in the second half for Sacramento. Bear now. Gets it over to JoJo. Out to Bear, loose ball. It'll stick with the T-Wolves with 11 on the shot clock. They had to win 7 in a row to get into the playoffs for the T-Wolves. Of course, the Kings had won 6 in a row during the regular season, including a lot of good playoff teams. J Money able to answer back. 8 points for J Money, the rookie from Fort Worth, Texas. And Yusuf will draw the foul. They'll get the second on JoJo, team first. With 2:25 to go here in the third.
They're definitely picking up the intensity and just still trying to make some things interesting. But still not that convincing for what we're seeing from it so far.
This to cut it to a 5-point game off the mark. Still 2 possessions. 36-30. Bear now. Playmaker badge. Take over time. And he was looking to Feast in the corner. There'll be 12 on the shot clock. That pass looked familiar. Time it didn't get through. Bear now. Plenty of juice in that badge. Gets by Zaki. I mean, what can you do when that thing's going?
That time really wasn't even considered a blow by. No contact made there by Zaki. You see it all the time when they're in the sides up trying to get a bump is one of the hardest things to do.
And that'll be a jump ball. So we'll head to the circle. It'll be Seam and J Money. Seam with the height advantage. And they will win that tip. Here's BP. Long three. And Feast with the board. 5th rebound of the night for Feast. Beardabeast just leaves Zaki and hits the 3. Just when you think he's going to go by you. And we'll have a foul in the backcourt. That'll be on Feast. That'll be his second. team second. So they have no foul to give for the rest of the third.
It's always crazy. You touched up on it so much last week. The one go-to move is the walk back as soon as he gets a takeover when he goes into a 5-out. Let's just clear away. If he creates any sort of contact, he'll just go straight through, get a blow by, more than likely get a dunk or try to create in the paint. But when you're not creating any contact and he does a size up, he's going to hit you with a walk back every single. You can make a highlight reel of Bear doing that exact same move to a bunch of guys in this league, and still nobody's able to get a read on it.
Under a minute to go here in the third as Bear draws the foul. He'll head to the stripe. On the season, he's a 78% free throw shooter. 18 points, 5 assists tonight. He's taking care of the basketball as well. Only 2 turnovers. 10-point game. Sacramento had cut it to 4 at one point in the quarter.
CJ Money's been staying super active all series long. Just trying to get a tip on those passing lanes. Never getting a steal from it, though. It always has a dive on it, and it sends him out of bounds.
T-Wolves up 1 game here in this best of 3 series. A win here, and they would face the Warriors tomorrow. So you'd have a 4th-seeded T-Wolves. They would be the home team, taking on the 8th-seeded Warriors tomorrow. And then we already know that we're going to have the number 3 76ers. That's a lot of numbers. Taking on the 7th-seeded Celtics in the semifinals. Bear gets into the paint, blocked by Cole. Up ahead, Yusuf. And he'll send it home. He's got 9. You just look at the box score. Bear having a big game, Turnup having a big game, and then you look at Sacramento's box score, and nothing really jumps out at you. Bear over to Jay Money. Boy, has he had an impact on this team. End of the third. The lead is 10, but we still got 6 minutes to go before the T-Wolves move on to the next round. 6 minutes away from possibly the debut of episode 8 of that Locked In episode powered by AT&T. The T-Wolves can hold on here in the final 6 minutes. Scott and Dirk with you here for this final frame. And BP's got to call a timeout. It was about to be a 10. I'm used to college basketball. 8-second violation.
And Jay Money's just been throwing so many blitzes at him, forcing him to pick up the dribble. You can see here in the box score, the 3-headed dragon of T-Wolves gaming. What you're seeing so far, Beardabeast, turn up, Jay Money, all stepping in towards double digits. And just Bear's efficiency, being able to work the ball around, limiting the turnovers, only has 2 to his name. Meanwhile, you look down at Kingsguard Gaming. BP hasn't been able to get anything to go. 5 turnovers. I mean, Yusuf can only do so much. He's in catch-and-shoot situations. And for Seam, we said with him going on to this build at the 4, I mean, what are we going to end up getting from him? And a whole lot of nothing.
10-point lead. 3 players in double figures for the T-Wolves. None for Sacramento. They'll take a timeout 7 seconds into the quarter. I'm not sure I just wouldn't take the turnover. But that's what turn up does to you. Get bumped the entire game. He's done a nice job against BP. And now their 3rd contest. In 3 games, BP has not broke 20 points against Turnup. Great defender. I mean, maybe he's the BP stopper. There's a lot of locks in the league that did not play well against BP this season. 44-36. Here's Bear. Loose ball picked up by Yusuf. Just an 8-point game, but there's Turnup again, stopping the break.
Actually trying to find a way to slow down. Yusuf's like, whoa, what happened? You were protecting the ball and you're just dribbling right in their face and a lock just bumped you. That's what happened.
Bingo in the chat says, BP, time to do point guard stuff. I would say it's time. 5:10 to go. Needs a huge fourth quarter. And there's a foul on Jay Money. That's his first. Second team foul. I mean, 8 points is nothing. All you need is a little run. Hit a couple threes. They are 6 of 14 from downtown. BP. Over to Yusuf.
That was just so smart right there, too, from Seam. Just waiting for JoJo to make his move, and as soon as he sees him take a step, throws a bow tie pass over towards Yusuf and just wasn't able to capitalize. He said it's usually somebody who's super efficient when shooting from the corner. That's usually with a rim protector primer. He's done a sharp primer here at the 3. He's not able to get it. Unfortunate, though. Pluck the ball, goes straight into the hands of Feast, and he gets a dunk.
46-36. Colt. Over to Yusuf. $11 points for Yusuf. 11 now for Colt. Finally get 2 players in double figures. They need some threes, though. Bear, got to be careful. They got to go call timeout again. 3 seconds was coming in the lane. 4:09 to go. We got an 8-point game. And we got 1 spot left in the semifinals. Who is going to play the Warriors? Will it be the T-Wolves, or can the Kings come back and force a game 3?
For Yusuf, I mean, when we got a little peek at the cameraman right behind him, he's really close to that takeover. I'm not sure how much it's going to truly impact it. Obviously, if he does have the badge, you'll be able to tell because he'll go to the hash where he's been sitting in the corner the whole time. So we'll see if the awareness maybe kicks in for T-Wolves Gaming, if they sit there and say, okay, well, why is he going there? We know that he's made a couple shots. I mean, we know that the defense for him has been pretty good on Jay Money, just to say the least, in terms of just limiting how many attempts that he's getting in towards the game. I'm not going to say it could break some things open, but anytime you have a badge, it opens up the floor a lot more because people feel the need that they have to overplay certain angles around the court.
Nacho's mom in the chat said she might be doing a road trip. She's asking, are there tickets left for tomorrow? We got to be able to get Nacho's mom in the game. Come on now. I'll say this right now. If you don't have a seat, Mama Nacho, Dirk says he'll give you his.
Sure.
Let Dirk play.
We stopped him.
Let's check in with Phil.
Hey, any mother that needs a seat, we will definitely make sure that there is a seat available. I don't care if I have to get up and stand up to do this hosting stuff. We will absolutely make sure that the mothers are taken care of, because they show up and they bring us tasty treats, parfaits, chocolates, brownies, okay? The moms of this league are invaluable. Damn it, I don't have a problem saying it.
Mama Nacho is a bartender. I don't know if we can have
I'll
the
take
treat.
a Mai Tai.
I don't know if we can have the treats.
On the rocks.
Mama Nacho might bring us.
Jeff looks like he was prepped for something big over there, and they never turned the camera on. I'm kind of happy because he looked like it's about to be the real reason that we would call them the Cringe Bros.
48-38. Here's Bear. 3:35 to go. Jay Money. And back of the rim, no good. Yeah, Nacho's mom, if you can't get into the game, just let one of us know. We'll get you in. We'll find a seat for Mama Nacho. And there's Colt with the board. You could also just tell your son to stand. Seam. It's the long shot. We got a 7-point game now with 3:02 to go. They just need some stops.
You see Seam there just a little bit too deep, takes a step in. Player looked like the shot got contested, probably sitting there towards a light lead for Jay Money when he went out to jump to contest the shot.
There's Nacho. Come on, Nacho. You got a seat for Mama Nacho? Shannon Nacho coming from the crowd. Hey, everyone can cheer for nachos. We can also cheer for Nacho, singular.
I cheer for nachos. I love nachos. And I love nacho.
Gonna get some nachos?
No, my stomach's hurting.
48-41. They've cut it to 7 on the three-pointer by Seam. He's now got 10. These last 2 games are not getting much from BP. He's got 6 points on 2 of 8 shooting.
And if it wasn't for the 3 through 5 providing the scoring, this would be a bad game.
10 turnovers by Sacramento. Only 5. And look at that pass. JoJo with the jam. His first bucket of the game. Nine-point game. Seam. Little hesitation. And then it's blocked by Turnup. He's everywhere. He's supposed to be guarding BP, and he's all the way down in the paint. Look where he comes from to block that.
See, it was almost like an assist to the block there. Bear creating contact with Seam was enough to slow him down, and Turnup just immediately darted, made a mad dash towards the paint, and got the nice block.
Seam puts up a 3. Colt with a rebound. Over to Yusuf in the corner. 6-point game. Just 2 possessions.
This is where it's really been jumping around for a majority just of this quarter alone. Jumping from 7 points to 10, from 7 to 10, over and over and over.
(50-44). T-Wolves not out of the woods yet. Here's Bear. And he'll take it all the way in, and that won't go. Had Turnup in the corner. I mean, I guess it's okay for a game winner, but not with 2 minutes to go. And there's an and 1 for Yusuf. They have not been able to calm him down in the second half. He's got 16.
Now you're making a ball game. You made us a believer by bringing it into within 3, but you got to be able to keep up the same fire, the same intensity, just to close this one out.
50-47. 2 minutes to go. A win is a sweep. Kings come back, and we'll play in game 3 right after the conclusion of this game. We'll have a little bit of a break just to game plan and regroup for that final game, and then we're right back at it. Every series has been a sweep so far in the quarterfinals. BP! Big miss, but Colt's there with the board. Yusuf has his badge. They got to find him. And Colt's all alone. Actually, a good decision. Take the easy points that they were giving away.
Yeah, BP just a little bit too deep there. He can't make the pass over towards Yusuf, and that's what they were going for. They wanted to make sure that they prioritize the 3-point shot. So that's why Colt just left wide open with his hands up saying, give me the damn ball.
You got to use a lot of this clock, and most of it's because of Yusuf's badge. Bear gets to the rim, and he'll finish. 3-point game. If you're on defense right now for T-Wolves, you say anybody but Yusuf. Anybody but that guy right there with a takeover. JoJo's going to try to hang with him. BP lost it, and it will go back to the T-Wolves. 6 turnovers now for BP, and that was a huge one.
And now you got to get one right back on the other side. Yusuf still has so much on his badge left to where if you just get a quick stop, and even if they burn the full 24 here and go for a shot, you still have the opportunity, and he greened it.
Oh, my. JoJo with just 5 points, but that was a huge 3. Timeout, Sacramento. They have 1 remaining with 44 seconds to go.
I mean, you gave them all the time in the world, too. I mean, we talk about there's a lot of players in this league, they're already holding square before the shot even goes off, so you're relying on just a lot of these full white shots that end up going in as well. For that, I mean, he was able to pause for a good second before Colt finally went over and even jumped to try to contest the shot.
JoJo still up and looking at Colt. They exchanged words in the regular season. Here they are again. A win here by the T-Wolves, and we will know who faces who in the semifinals You would have Warriors, T-Wolves, 76ers, Celtics. That all goes down tomorrow, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Cole up and talking.
Chance coming in. I see some visible frustration, especially after that turnover. And then, I mean, it's a worst case scenario, right? You end up forcing a turnover, and then they make a three right down on the other side, and that just stunts all sort of momentum.
Nacho's mom says, I won't be at work tomorrow, I think. What time does it start? 5 p.m., Nacho's mom. Time for you to get in the car and head on over. Gonna be a big Saturday. Yusuf! Had the look, Dirk. Knocked away, and the Kings will get it back.
I mean, Jay Money should have not jumped on that ball. Yeah, I think even it looked like, honestly, when Zachy hit it, it might have actually hit off Jay Money's guy's leg, too, and went out of bounds.
Possible. Cole, that's a tough shot. That was not it, Chief. 55-49. 25 seconds to go, and they get Zachy with a foul as third. Here's Bear at the line. They just need one free throw to clinch this. Try to make it a three-possession game, and he does. Sacramento still with one timeout. They'll throw it up to Seam. Seam gets it to BP. BP triple teamed. Yusuf now coming to the top. Bad spacing for Sacramento, and they'll turn it over. And the T-Wolves, in their first season, are going to be headed to the semis.
I mean, what a great game. What a great series you ended up seeing from them. Again, we talk about how unorthodox this team likes to play, and it's been working out, extending their winning streak, continuing to plow through so many great teams in this league. It looked like there for a second when the Kings brought it to within 3, they could try to make something happen and try to will their way to victory, but Beardabeast and the army behind him, it's too much to slow down.